At a time when Beijing is peddling propaganda on a daily basis, and just days after China once again raked up Kashmir, as it has been in the past, meddling in Kashmir, this is a reality check, not just for Pakistan's patron, but also for all the doubters. Now look at these pictures on the screen. We also have a video now. This is the lone Indian athlete there. He is a Kashmiri. His name is Arif Khan. And look how proud he is while he is holding the Tiranga. He carried the national flag as he represented the country at the Parade of Nations at the Beijing Winter Olympics opening ceremony. And this should serve as a wake-up call for all those people who have any doubts in their mind about Kashmir. Kashmir was, is and will continue to remain an integral part of India. Senior editor Pradeep Datta now joining us, also our national affairs editor Srinjoy Chaudhary with us. Good morning to both of you. Pradeep, Arif Khan has answered Dragon and the doubters.
No doubt about that. The fake Kashmir story that Pakistan was trying to unleash by having that Solidarity Day, that completely gets busted on that very day when they were trying to unleash propaganda to portray India in bad light. You can see Arif Khan, the lone Indian athlete, moving through the Bird's Nest Stadium. And who is watching that time? Xi Jinping is also there, and Imran Khan is also watching, in presence of both these countries who had been peddling lies against India, trying to rake up Kashmiri show off and on. And he is here as a proud Kashmiri, holding tricolor in his hand, moving. And clearly it indicates that it is not about symbolism. It is basically the sentiments and emotions of 1.3 billion Indian. When few days back on 26 January, Kashmiris came out and unfurled tricolor at Lal Chowk. That time they said there were few collaborators. Now what the Pakistan will have to say this time when the Kashmiri is holding tricolor and moving like a proud Indian, representing country, representing 1.3 billion Indians there at Beijing Olympics. I think nothing can be better moment than this. It's a tight slap on all those apologists. It's a tight slap on Imran Khan's face also, because Imran Khan often says the things are not well in Kashmir Valley. Kashmiris are alienated. They are no more with India. I think the message is loud and clear. India for Kashmir and Kashmir is for India. That is the message that Arif Khan was sending from Beijing. And I think most of the people have missed this story, because nothing can be bigger solidarity of Kashmir with India than this. I think this is something that answers each and every question, because what Pakistan was trying to do, they were churning out lies. They had already conveyed it to the different embassies, short letters to them, asking them to peddle lies, fake propaganda against India, try to tell the world that all is not well, because they were trying to build that international opinion against the country. They were trying to tell the world that India is not with the Muslims. They were trying to rake up Islamophobia. That's what they had been doing, committing genocide in Kashmir Valley. See, that smile on Arif Khan's face narrates the whole story. How proudly he's holding tricolor, and he's busting all those lies what has been peddled by Jutistan, Pakistan.
Stay with us, Srinjoy. I'm coming to you, but RSN Singh also joining us, needs no introduction. Sir, good morning. Thank you for speaking to Times Now. As Pakistan and China continue to meddle in Kashmir, as they continue to push their propaganda, here is Kashmiri, a proud Indian athlete, Arif Khan, holding the Tiranga and answering all those people who have any doubts in their minds.
No, you couldn't be more correct. I mean, this is an occasion that the whole world is watching. It's no small event and no small development. In the sense that whatever it is the Winter Olympics, and here you have a Kashmiri youth with proudly showing the tricolor to the rest of the world. The message should go not only to Pakistan and China, but the rest of the world as well. People who have been, trying to paint India in a negative manner with regards to, our human rights record in Kashmir. It's a slap on their faces. It's a slap on their faces. I, as a person, you cannot imagine that how proud I feel today, and it only shows that the gains that the Indian establishment has made post Article 370. It's a vindication of that.
Absolutely.
So politically, it's geopolitical imagery will go down in history for all times to come. And it is also, on occasion to celebrate that, look, we are here, to celebrate an individual who by dint of his own hard work, he has reached the Winter Olympics. So we did so well in the Tokyo Olympics. Now we are here in the Winter Olympics. So as a power we have arrived. As a power we have arrived, and I would urge my fellow Indians not to underrate yourselves.
Right.
Not to run down yourselves. It's a motherland. It's a beautiful country, the most beautiful country on this earth. And cover this imagery. Cover this imagery. You will not get it.
Absolutely. And this picture is more than worth 1,000 words. Srinjoy?
Point is, it's a clear message. Here is one Indian, the solitary Indian taking part in the Winter Olympics. And who is he but a Kashmiri? That's a clear message. One Indian, one and only Indian taking part in the Olympics. India is not an Olympic power. India is not a Winter Olympic power at all. India barely makes it to the Winter Olympics. But the one Indian who has made it to the Winter Olympics is a boy from Jammu and Kashmir. That is the major message to the world, that India has sent a Kashmiri boy because he's the only Indian who India wants in the Winter Olympics, and he's a boy from Kashmir. That apart, of course, the fact that Imran Khan and Xi Jinping are where they are is also a concern, because China has now claimed that it wants to invest more in POK, which is Indian territory. If China wants to invest more in the CPEC, the China-Pakistan Economic Corridor, it's also a concern for India, because that economic corridor runs through India, POK, and that is something India will have to work out. But for now, the presence of Arif Khan in China is a huge plus, is a very proud moment for India.
His presence in China and the Tiranga in his hand is a tight slap to all those doubters, and RSN Singh made that point. We have also spoken to the man. Arif Khan has spoken exclusively to Times Now's Karishma Singh. This is what he said.
He has qualified for 2 events for the Winter Olympics slated to be held in Beijing from the 4th of February. Joining us is Mohammad Arif Khan, who will be representing Jammu and Kashmir and India at the global stage of Olympics. Mohammad Arif Khan, thank you for speaking to us on Times Now and being here.
Thank you.
You become the first ever Indian athlete to do so, to qualify for 2 events at the Winter Olympics. You are this close to realizing your dream. How have the last couple of months been for you?
Well, it has been really fascinating, like a lot of joy and a lot of inspirations, and a lot of things are coming up with new ideas and new way of skiing. Yeah, it's been really nice, like a lot of improvement, especially in terms of technique developments or other skills. Yeah, pretty much better.
And Winter Olympics is not what India identifies itself with. Also, tell us a little about your struggle and success story in terms of recognition for you to achieve. How harder was it compared to other athletes who compete at the same level as you in an Olympic Games?
Well, the biggest struggle is the infrastructure. that we are lacking, like maybe since the beginning. But we kind of have the basic facilities in India. We can develop like the Alpine ski sports at the very basic level, and it can go up to the intermediate. That's one of the major challenges we have been going through. So for this particular thing, we always needed to travel to European countries or other Asian countries for more training and skill developments. And this was like really challenging. The other stuff was always like...
That was Arif Khan speaking exclusively to Times Now. Srinjoy, Pradeep, thanks for joining us on this big story. We are taking a short break. Lots more.